In Kentucky, CBS News projects Donald Trump wins the bluegrass state, where voters have picked a Republican for the last 6 elections. In Vermont, CBS News projects Vice President Harris wins the solidly blue state. Polls have closed in Indiana, one of the reddest states in the Midwest, and CBS News characterizes this race as likely Donald Trump. And let's take a look at Virginia. It's still early, but CBS News characterized this as lean Democrat. It has been 2 decades since a Republican clinched the Commonwealth. Let's take a look now at South Carolina. Polls also closed there. CBS News rates this race as lean Republican. The Palmetto State, a reliably Republican state for candidates there, and it goes to Donald Trump. The big number tonight, 270. That's the number of electoral votes needed to win. With those early results, the race to 270 shows. In West Virginia, CBS News projects Donald Trump wins. The former president won the state in 2020 easily, winning every county in the states, and he has won again this year. In Ohio, CBS News characterizes Ohio as lean Republican. Remember, Ohio was once a battleground, but it has shifted right over the last few election cycles. Now let's take a look at Indiana. CBS News projects Donald Trump will win the Hoosier state. Remember, that was home to his Vice President Mike Pence. And in the all-important race to 270 electoral votes, Donald Trump currently has 23, and Kamala Harris has still just coming in, as you can see. And we have some breaking results to share with you from the states that just closed. In Florida, once an electoral battleground that has moved right in recent circles, CBS News projects Trump will win the Sunshine State. In Alabama, CBS News projects Trump will win this race. Trump carried Alabama by large margins in the past 2 elections. And in reliably blue Massachusetts, CBS News projects the Vice President, Kamala Harris, will win. Let's take a look now at Maryland. CBS News projects Harris will win there. There's a key Senate race. We'll check in there as well. And Oklahoma, CBS News projects Trump will win. Let's take a look now at Tennessee. CBS News projects Trump will win in the state of Tennessee. The big number we've been talking about, 270 electoral votes. That's the number needed to win. And so far, with those early results, the race to 270 shows Donald Trump with 90 electoral votes and Kamala Harris with one, where the polls just closed. In Arkansas, CBS News projects Donald Trump will win in that state. Let's take a look at Missouri. CBS News projects Trump will win there as well. And just in from our data desk, in South Carolina, CBS News projects Trump will win also in that reliably red or Republican state. CBS News projects Kamala Harris will win the District of Columbia, where her election night headquarters are. No surprise there. And 3 electoral votes there. And then in the race for the all-important number of 270 electoral votes, Donald Trump is at 105. Kamala Harris has 27 at this hour. Just closed. CBS News projects Donald Trump will pick up North Dakota. The former president also projected to win in South Dakota. The Mount Rushmore state is reliably Republican in presidential elections. And in Wyoming, CBS News projects Donald Trump will win there as well. Let's take a look at the great state of Texas. CBS News projects Donald Trump will win in Texas. We'll have an update on this big Senate race there in just a minute, where Ted Cruz is facing a tough race there. And then Iowa is characterized at this hour as lean Trump. Remember, there had been that stunning poll out of Iowa recently that suggested Kamala Harris gaining ground among older women. And the big number to remember tonight is 270. That's the number of electoral votes someone needs to win. So far, the race to 270 shows Donald Trump with 154 electoral votes and Kamala Harris with 27. Those big numbers from Donald Trump, in part because of the calling of Florida and Texas. Of course, when states like New York or California or other big electoral prizes, CBS News projects Donald Trump will win Louisiana. Voters in the Bayou State have chosen a Republican for president since 2000. CBS News projects Rhode Island for Harris. And CBS News projects New York for Harris, which will add significantly to her electoral vote tally. I want to go to Major Garrett now, who has new information from the CBS News data desk. Hi there, Major. And CBS News projects Donald Trump will win. And CBS News projects the former president will also win in Montana. Montana has voted for a Republican in the last 12 of 13 presidential elections. Key Senate race there that we also are going to be watching closely tonight. And in Delaware, President Joe Biden's home state, CBS News projects Kamala Harris will win in that state. And let's take a look at Illinois. CBS News projects Harris will win there as well. Chicago was home to the Democratic National Convention this summer, where the vice president accepted. Welcome back to CBS News coverage of Election Night 2024. Just in from the CBS News data desk, CBS News projects Donald Trump will win the state of Ohio, the home of his running mate, Senator J.D. Vance. And in the state of Mississippi, CBS News projects Donald Trump wins there as well in Mississippi. Also, CBS News projects Kamala Harris will pick up Colorado's 10 electoral votes. And in the hunt for 270 electoral votes, Donald Trump has 195. Kamala Harris has 9. CBS News projects that Iowa is for Trump, that the former president has won the state of Iowa. You see just a little bit more than half the vote in there. There had been that poll by the Des Moines Register suggesting that she was doing much better than expected, but Iowa, a reliably Republican state there, and those 6 electoral. We have results to share. Just in from the CBS News data desk, CBS News projects Donald Trump will win the state of Kansas. In Ohio, CBS News projects the former president will win there as well. And so here's where we stand in the race to 270. Donald Trump, 207. It's closed. In California, Vice President Harris's home state, CBS News projects that she will win there. In Idaho, CBS News projects Trump will win. And over 5 decades, Idaho has supported a Republican for the presidency. And here is where we stand right now in the race to 270, shows Donald Trump with 211 electoral votes and Kamala Harris with 145, a number of states still to be called. Thank you so much for your time. And we have a CBS News projection for the battleground state of North Carolina and its 16 electoral votes. We can project that Trump will win North Carolina. That is a state that he won in 2020 and 2016. And the Tar Heel state, the last time it went to a Democrat was Barack Obama in 2008. It was a very narrow win for him. Of course, he had a blowout of
vote in Arizona.
Stand by. We have a CBS News projection for the battleground state of Georgia and its 16 electoral votes. We can project that Donald Trump is the projected winner in the state of Georgia at this hour. Our first projected winner of the night, Georgia, for Donald Trump.
The first flip.
The first flip, as we know that Joe Biden won Georgia 4 years ago. That's significant.
Yeah, and I can give you a little taste of why that is if you look at the exit polls for Georgia. And we look at 3 groups here that Donald Trump performed well with. The first is independents. He won 54 to 43.
CBS News at this hour projects Kamala Harris will win the state of Minnesota, home to her running mate, Governor Tim Walz. CBS News also projects that Harris wins New Jersey. Several states voted on reproductive rights this election. Headquarters, CBS News can project Republican Deb Fischer will win re-election in the state of Nebraska, and that means we can now project that Republicans will take control of the Senate. This flips the Senate, which Democrats had controlled with Vice President Kamala Harris's tie-breaking vote. Scott MacFarlane.
You see the number behind me, Nora. That's the magic number for Republicans.
About whether Donald Trump has officially reached the threshold to be named the next president-elect of the United States. We have not heard from Vice President Kamala Harris. Her campaign co-chair spoke to supporters saying go home for the night. And CBS News now projects that Donald Trump is the winner in Wisconsin. That gives him the number of electoral votes he needs to become the 47th president of the United States. This is an incredible moment in American history.